Sounds like a lot more people are going to get to know the brand as you step up some marketing. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, it's actually very exciting. So for years, we sort of co-marketed and went to market together with our merchant partners. And now that we've, I'd like to believe, gotten to general population, it's time to tell them more about what BNPL is and what makes Affirm different. We're launching this holiday campaign. I think it's very relatable in a sense that all of us are very stressed out. I certainly am for the holidays. We make sometimes questionable decisions, and Affirm is the always smart choice. When you use Affirm to buy your holiday gift, something for yourself, you will not wake up Christmas morning with a bad taste of a late fee or a hidden charge or something you'd not expect. And so Affirm is the smart choice. We're going to talk about it, and hopefully the story will resonate. There's some very, very funny ideas we'll see out there.
Now, oftentimes when we get into that cycle where marketing ramps up, the customer acquisition concerns start to arise. You start to think about margins a bit more. How are you going to balance that with the overall operating expense model?
I want to make sure that my shareholders are very clear. We are not about to pivot ourselves into some sort of Super Bowl ad buying marketing behemoth. We're very, very thoughtful about, I'd like to believe, everything we do, but in general, we consider ourselves good stewards of shareholder capital. The campaign is something that we worked on pretty hard and will deploy it very judiciously. Obviously, we spent a lot of time watching our margins, making sure that we continue growing the company responsibly, just like what we offer to consumers: responsible spending, responsible shopping.
Max, a really interesting, significant shift as Peloton becomes less of a factor in your overall business. Shopify and Amazon becoming more of a factor. Fashion and beauty rising to your top category. I wonder, though, as you move towards smaller dollar transactions, and people sometimes overspend during the holidays. Say more about your risk management, because there's a lot of concern that the amount of risk that you're taking on is increasing, and if the economy turns south, what'll happen?
I think that's what we think is one of the key, strong core advantages that Affirm has always had, and we continue to build on that strength. We are responsible, thoughtful managers of risk in small transactions, large transactions, long-term, short-term, interest-bearing or otherwise. We care about every single one of them. One of the big differences in the buy now, pay later model is we approve each transaction individually, therefore underwriting it individually. It gives us a lot more control over the exposure we take on, and far more importantly, from my point of view, the exposure our consumers are allowed to take on. The reason BNPL is such a better alternative to credit cards is you're not just piling it all on to a single revolving credit and hope to pay it off later. You're actually making a conscious choice to say, hey, this is a plan. I will be done paying for this gift or this item over the next 6 weeks or 6 months. And that gives us the flexibility and allows us to make decisions on a risk basis every single time, helping each consumer make the decision for themselves. And so I feel great about our capabilities. I feel excellent looking back on all the cohorts of users that we've served. Obviously, no resting on our laurels. We'll continue tracking and monitoring, but generally speaking, feel very good about our risk management capabilities.
And how different profile-wise is the consumer that comes to you via Shopify, and how long is it going to take your model to really adjust to and understand the nature of that consumer and its patterns?
So at this point, we just reported, so you saw that our active customers are up to 8.6 million. At this point, we're seeing everyone. BNPL has arrived in a sense that half of Americans are fully aware of what it is and are considering using it or are using it. It's no longer just for this demographic or that. It's both Gen Z and Gen X and everyone in between. So the models that we build end up tuning or retune them, and a lot of it is automated at this point, to the merchant ecosystem, to the sub-merchants within the platforms. But all of that is part of the course, and it's no longer a thing you build for Gen Z and kind of hope it works for someone else. It has to all be customized to the merchants.